Let me ask you a question. What's the one thing separating millionaires from everyone else? It's not luck, it's not who they know, and it's definitely not working harder. Here's the harsh truth. If you don't have something unique to offer, something no one else can replicate, you'll never break out of the financial rat race. And if that doesn't scare you, it should. Because in today's world, hard work isn't enough. You need something much more powerful. What am I talking about? Stick with me, and I'll show you how the most successful people crack the code with specific knowledge, and how you can too. Today, I'll walk you through the lives of people who mastered specific knowledge, solved real problems, and became millionaires, often starting with nothing. Their stories are packed with lessons, twists, and surprises. You won't just hear about their successes. You'll see the path they took, and by the end, you'll know how to find your own specific knowledge. It started with a simple cup of coffee in Milan, Italy. In the mid-1980s, a young man from Brooklyn found himself in a bustling cafe, surrounded by the aroma of freshly brewed espresso and the chatter of locals. This wasn't just a place to grab a drink. It was a community hub where people came together to connect. Back home in the US, coffee was nothing like this. It was transactional, served in flimsy styrofoam cups, and rushed. But something about the Italian cafe stayed with him. What if Americans could experience coffee this way? This wasn't just a pipe dream. The man had already spent years observing how businesses worked, particularly in retail and food. He grew up in public housing, the child of a factory worker who instilled in him the importance of hard work. College wasn't an easy journey. He had to take out loans and work odd jobs to make it through. But his career trajectory changed when he joined a small coffee company. At the time, the company didn't sell brewed coffee, only beans and equipment. Most customers were affluent coffee aficionados, and the business was steady but unremarkable. The company's owners didn't see the potential for expansion. That trip to Milan changed everything. He returned to the US with a clear vision. Coffee could be more than a beverage. It could be an experience. He pitched his idea to the company owners: build cafes where customers could sit, relax, and enjoy their coffee. But they didn't buy it. They thought the idea was too risky and didn't align with their existing model. Undeterred, he decided to go it alone. He left the company, secured funding, and opened his own cafe, designed with Italian-style espresso bars in mind. The ambiance was carefully crafted: warm lighting, cozy seating, and a menu that elevated coffee from a commodity to a luxury. At first, the cafe was a small success. People loved the concept, but it wasn't a revolution yet. He had to scale. To do that, he needed the original company, the one he'd worked for, to see the value in his idea. After much persuasion and negotiation, he bought the company, rebranding it with a new mission: to transform coffee culture in America. Expansion wasn't easy. Skeptics doubted that Americans would pay premium prices for coffee, but he leaned on his specific knowledge, a deep understanding of both the customer experience and the operational details of running a cafe. He standardized the process, ensuring consistency across all locations, while maintaining the cozy, inviting feel of a neighborhood cafe. Within a decade, his coffee shops were everywhere, from bustling urban centers to suburban neighborhoods. His vision had turned a $3 cup of coffee into a daily ritual for millions. Today, his company is a household name, with over 35,000 locations worldwide. Who is this visionary? Howard Schultz, the man who transformed Starbucks from a local coffee bean retailer into a global phenomenon. From coffee shops, let's move to a basement in the Midwest, where another young man was tinkering with old computers. Growing up in a modest household, he didn't have much in the way of resources, but what he did have was curiosity. While other kids were out playing sports, he was pulling apart computers to see how they worked. He spent hours writing code, not because anyone told him to, but because he couldn't stop himself from figuring out how to solve problems. By high school, his bedroom looked more like a workshop. Circuit boards, wires, and clunky computer monitors scattered everywhere. But it wasn't just about coding. He had a knack for spotting inefficiencies. One day, as a teenager, He noticed that small businesses in his area struggled to organize their inventory. They kept paper logs, misplaced items, and wasted money on stock they didn't need. He thought, there has to be a better way. He spent weeks building software that would allow businesses to track inventory digitally. He offered it to a local store, charging a modest fee. They loved it. Word spread, and soon, other businesses were asking for his help. By the time he graduated high school, he wasn't just a kid with a hobby. He was running a small tech company. But his big break came a few years later, when he noticed something about online payments. Back in the early 2000s, paying for things online was a nightmare. Slow, clunky, and unreliable. He decided to tackle the problem head-on, using his years of specific knowledge in software development to create a seamless, secure payment system. His solution revolutionized e-commerce, making it possible for millions of people to shop online effortlessly. Today, his payment platform processes billions of dollars annually. Who is this tech genius? Elon Musk, whose work on PayPal paved the way for his later ventures in Tesla and SpaceX. But let's leave technology for now and imagine this. You're in San Francisco, it's 2007, and the rent is due. You've got a small apartment, no steady income, and you're desperate to make ends meet. What do you do? For one man, the answer came in the form of an air mattress. Yes, an air mattress. He realized that there were conferences in town, and hotels were fully booked. Why not offer travelers a place to crash? It started as a quirky side hustle. He and his roommate listed their apartment as a short-term rental and charged guests a modest fee to stay on their air mattresses. They even threw in breakfast. To their surprise, people loved it. But this wasn't just about earning rent money. He noticed a broader trend. Travelers were tired of sterile hotels. They wanted unique, authentic experiences. And many homeowners had unused space they could monetize. He spent months analyzing the market, gathering data, and understanding both hosts and guests. His specific knowledge wasn't just in hospitality, it was in creating trust. He and his team built a platform where people could list their homes, complete with reviews, photos, and security measures. They made it feel safe. Today, that quirky side hustle has transformed into a multi-billion-dollar company, changing the way we think about travel. Who is this entrepreneur? Brian Chesky, co-founder of Airbnb. Our next story begins in New York City, where a young man spent his childhood fascinated by basketball culture. But his interest wasn't just in the game, it was in what the players wore. Sneakers were more than footwear. They were a status symbol, a piece of identity. As a teenager, he noticed something peculiar. Limited edition sneakers sold out instantly in stores. But on the streets, they were being resold for double or triple the price. This wasn't just demand, it was a gold mine waiting to be tapped. Most people would see this and move on, but not him. He began flipping sneakers himself, buying the hottest releases and reselling them online for a profit. It was a side hustle at first, but he couldn't ignore the inefficiencies in the system. The resale market was scattered across forums, Craigslist, and word of mouth. It lacked structure, trust, and transparency. With his background in tech and a deep understanding of sneaker culture, he saw an opportunity. What if there was a platform where sneaker enthusiasts could buy and sell their prized kicks in a secure, streamlined way? He spent months developing the concept, testing it with early adopters, and pitching the idea to investors. The key to his success was his specific knowledge, an insider's understanding of both sneaker culture and the technology needed to create a seamless marketplace. His platform quickly gained traction, becoming the go-to destination for sneakerheads around the world. Today, it's valued at billions, with users buying and selling not just sneakers, but also collectibles and apparel. Who is this visionary? Josh Luber, co-founder of StockX. Finally, imagine this. It's late at night and you're starving. The fridge is empty and your favorite restaurant doesn't deliver. For most people, this is just an inconvenience. But for one college student, it was an opportunity. In 2004, he was a student at Stanford University, studying computer science. But his true education came from observing the world around him. He noticed that while people loved ordering food, the process was outdated and inefficient. You had to call the restaurant, place your order verbally, and hope they got it right. There was no centralized system, no way to compare options, and no guarantee of reliability. He started small, creating a website where students could order food from local restaurants online. It wasn't fancy, but it worked. Soon, more students were using the platform, and local restaurants were seeing a spike in orders. But this wasn't just about convenience. He understood that to scale, he needed to solve bigger problems: logistics, delivery times, and customer trust. He spent years refining the platform, building partnerships with restaurants, and creating algorithms to optimize delivery routes. The result? A food delivery empire that has redefined the way we eat. What started as a small campus project is now a global powerhouse, connecting millions of people with their favorite meals. Who is this disruptor? Tony Xu, co-founder and CEO of DoorDash. From transforming coffee culture to revolutionizing food delivery, one thing remains constant: the power of specific knowledge. Whether it's understanding customer behavior, mastering a niche market, or building trust in an unstructured space, these individuals turned their unique insights into life-changing opportunities. The stories of Howard Schultz, Elon Musk, Brian Chesky, Josh Luber, and Tony Xu teach us a critical lesson. Wealth doesn't come from chasing trends. It comes from solving problems in ways only you can. Want to know how another titan of industry, Mike Tyson, lost everything and rebuilt his empire? Check out my next video to uncover the secrets of resilience and reinvention.